our side.
And we are back with mania Squid Game after our streamer's PC ran. We got it back. And yet again, I'm Walmart joined with Sparky here to continue this match after a bit of a hiccup.
Yeah, we're back at it once again. For those of you that were keeping up with the MP link or just keeping track in the Twitch chat, we're now tied 1-1. SuddenDeath pulling out the near Black Flag performance on press start, 992k to konkawe's 978. So interesting answer back. We might have a bit of a Rice versus LN match on our hand, and as I say, that konkawe going to go for hybrid 1 here.
Yeah, that was their protect, I believe. And this map is interesting because I believe this is our more Rice-oriented hybrid, which is probably the reason why konkawe went for it. And I played this map a lot of times. I think I use this as my warm-up for Soft 6 as well. So I'm pretty familiar with this chart. Definitely an old school map as well. If there's one thing to know, it's definitely the transitions, which I think is what konkawe is trying to catch SuddenDeath on, is their consistency and their ability to hit transitions.
Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. I feel like this is a very technical hybrid overall, especially in those Rice sections. So being able to maintain your consistency of what's being asked of you during this chart is going to be of the utmost importance. You already start to see SuddenDeath taking a bit of damage to their accuracy, maybe releasing a little bit on the late side, and right there, right on cue, the first transition into the second quarter of the chart. SuddenDeath finding the first drop here as konkawe holds on to their FC again. 99.9% accuracy, probably going to be the standard that they need to bear to try and hold off SuddenDeath for this match.
Yeah, as konkawe is still holding on, as this map is also relatively short, just 2 minutes, just over that 2-minute mark. As we get into the more LN side of things, I think once we get into the back half, we see more of this LN. But more or less, this is where the hybrid really speaks for itself.
Yeah, for sure. Everything starts to get a little bit more complicated. The inundation, you start to see a little bit small 3-column inverses coming in before you get into basically an abridged full inverse section before diving right back into the Rice. Last third of the chart still left to go. SuddenDeath doing very well to recover from their earlier drop, but konkawe still working with this cushion, still in that high 99% mark. SuddenDeath about 4/10 behind, maybe within catching distance, but the window of opportunity is quickly closing for them to try and do something about this.
Yeah, the only thing SuddenDeath really needs to play on is that konkawe finds a drop on these very tricky to handle mini jack and LN holding, like these shields. Definitely probably one of SuddenDeath's biggest shot for redemption, but konkawe nails that section still at the 99.9. But there is still one part of the map left, and it's these hand streams with these mini jack transitions. As SuddenDeath finds the miss, not konkawe, and this practically secures it as konkawe ends the map with a 99.9.
Oh my goodness, another 996, 2 for 2 on the 996s on their picks. Another V1 double S.
Wow. Yeah, we can see konkawe nearly half of what SuddenDeath ratio was. And konkawe, ladies and gentlemen, on match point.
Yeah, one pick away.
Yeah, they are one win away. Actually, they're only one pick away from either seeing we're either seeing party starter or a winner. As they're gonna go for Enigma.
Oh, I think konkawe already saying it. Welcome to tiebreaker.
If this match goes to tiebreaker, I don't know, because I think this is probably this is our most anticipated match
It'd just be so fitting.
Probably in Squid Game history. As if we see our Seed 1 get out, and I believe this is... Technically this is the 3rd game, but this is the special game, so... What is this, like... Yeah, I would just consider it, like, the 2.5 game. But still... SuddenDeath's last chance for redemption, going to go for what they do best, and that's going to be the only LN pick remaining, I believe. This is LN2. Enigma, our density pick.
Yeah, this is a very hard LN pick. Very dense overall. I mean, to be fair, if you are used to playing dense LN, or if you're a more rice-oriented player, might be able to get away with swinging something like this, but... At the moment, this is very close, probably closer than SuddenDeath was expecting to start this map off. They are virtually tied, neck and neck, 99.84 apiece as they make their way through the first quarter of this chart.
Yeah, and also, this map is really short, like shorter than Hybrid 1. This is a minute 55. This is going to just be a battle of who can keep their consistency up the most. As konkawe and SuddenDeath tying in accuracy. This is something you don't see, folks. But konkawe drops down to 99.82. It's now 0.03% of the difference, but we continue through on with this map. The halfway mark almost being reached. It's basically just a game of tug of war now.
Oh, you are so right as you say that, making our way into the back half of the chart. Konkawe literally saying that they're a combo player. This is not combo playing. This is hacking your way through a ridiculously hard LN chart, able to put one of the best LN players in the world to task at the moment. Last quarter of the chart left to go. They are still within 0.01% of each other. Last quarter of the chart left, and neither player is giving an inch at the moment. Every single 300 matters right now. As we make our way further, they're both dropping at simultaneous rates. Neither player has given up a 200, but konkawe finds the drop.
Even then, konkawe, that was a very clean drop from konkawe. We're gonna have to see something from SuddenDeath, or else we will be going to tiebreaker. The nerves must have finally reached konkawe, as SuddenDeath is looking to keep this match alive, as we might be going to tiebreaker. We are going to a tiebreaker. Oh my goodness.
A singular slider break, and I think the nerves finally got to konkawe. Oh, V1SS!
A V1SS!
At the 11th hour.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to a tiebreaker.
Oh, and what a fitting way to end what is certainly the marquee matchup of the weekend. konkawe, the number 2 seed, the one chosen by the wheel, versus SuddenDeath, the number 1 seed, who was chosen specifically by konkawe for this match. And oh boy, are both players delivering at the highest order.
They really came to get this party jumping.
4 minutes 45 seconds, almost 5 minutes of one of the most interesting Lemon Guy. I mean, tiebreakers are basically hybrids. This is literally Lemon Guy hybrid. Taken to 11.
In MWC Classic, this was used in MWC 2022 as one. I think it was used as the semifinals hybrid pick. So we're practically at MWC semifinals hybrid level tiebreakers. I could be wrong. You could correct me on that, but I believe this was used last year in semifinals.
Yeah, I never keep track of the rounds. It's all blur at the end of the day. But still, the fact that this match has lived up to the billing. I know we've been a part of many tournaments where we hype up the match and it turns out to be like a quick sweep or like a 5-1, 4-1, but this
even a forfeit.
Or even a forfeit. But this one is going to be one for the ages. We're getting into party starter, 2 of the best players in this tournament, inseparable after 4 maps. And here we go, 5th one.
SuddenDeath might have a bit of an advantage over konkawe because I think he played this map in MWC.
I think so.
But that was the cut version. This is the full version.
Yeah, it remains to be seen.
Version. as we see already konkawe. I mean, this map is almost 5 minutes long, so nothing will really matter at the beginning. If you want to get your misses or bad judgments out, you might as well do it at the very beginning, because when it reaches that drop, there's no going back in this chart.
Yeah, each of these buildups gets more ridiculous than the last. And here we go, first drop. Let's see if anybody blinks. Nothing just yet. Both players holding steady. SuddenDeath starting to climb up in terms of their accuracy, making up for that little bit of a hiccup that they had a little bit earlier, maybe finding a couple of 200s, but now back up into that 99.7 range. konkawe still in that 99.9 perch, not willing to give this up relatively easy. So many mini jacks that you can find yourself slipping up on, especially when you're being asked to transition, and there's a slider break on that transition into the second quarter of the chart. konkawe blinks first.
Well, we can see konkawe having the accuracy advantage over SuddenDeath, but it's only by 0.08%. But I think if konkawe reaches that 400 combo cap without any issue, they might be able to take that lead back, but it's going to be extremely close.
Yeah, for sure. And you start to wonder, the first miss after that dense section, you start to imagine the nerves starting to build up just a little bit. It's like, okay, you can't afford to find any more drops. You know you're up against a very good opponent, somebody who's still holding on to their FC going into the second third of the chart. You're still ahead by almost 0.2% now. Might actually be able to start clawing this lead back. It is still very fragile in favor of SuddenDeath.
konkawe nearly 0.2% ahead of SuddenDeath, and it's just that combo keeping SuddenDeath in the game. It's practically just a miss of difference, but when it comes to how different these accuracies are, it's probably going to come down to even just a 200 or a single 100 from SuddenDeath, as we almost reach the halfway mark, as the second drop is just bound to be just around the corner. konkawe trying to fight for their lead back and their tournament run.
Yeah, they're doing everything in their power to try and wrestle this lead back. SuddenDeath ahead by sheer virtue of holding on to this FC. The back half of the map now beginning. Things stay relatively the same in terms of the difficulty that's being asked of you to perform, but it's going to be up to SuddenDeath to maintain this accuracy. They cannot fall below this 99.6 mark. And we see konkawe start. There it is. There's a drop for SuddenDeath, and the lead immediately goes back over to konkawe, and they have had the accuracy advantage since the start of this map. It's going to take a Herculean effort from SuddenDeath to try and claw this one back. konkawe now building up this cushion now that they're back over that 400 combo cap very comfortably.
Yes, konkawe is now having things in the front seat, but they are starting to rush patterns now. That is something you don't want to see, as I saw lots of 200s and 300s from konkawe as their accuracy slowly begins to drop a bit more, but now the misses are even. It's just going to come down to who has the better accuracy, and if konkawe finds a messy drop, that could scream absolute terror for konkawe. But there's only a couple more drops left as we get to the copy pasta section of the map.
Yeah, it's last quarter of the chart left to go. Last chance saloon for SuddenDeath to try and do something. The ball is not in their court at the moment. It's the fact that konkawe had this massive cushion to work with when they did find their drop. That 200 rush as well kind of made it a little bit interesting, but still able to hold on, regain their composure, and start hitting above the 300 mark once again. And they're already going to climb back up into that 99.8 range. Might not be enough time in the chart to get back up over it, but going to be very close. As SuddenDeath climbs back up into the 99.6 range, is going to take a last second choke to try and keep our #1 seed in this tournament. It was a very bold strategy from konkawe, but as this map starts to come to an end, there's not a lot of score left up for grabs, and it looks like as this chart starts to wind down a little bit, the hardest parts of it are over, and konkawe, against all odds, our #2 seed is going to successfully eliminate our #1 seed. SuddenDeath has been eliminated from Squid Games.
Yeah, SuddenDeath. Oh my goodness, and yet again, konkawe getting half of SuddenDeath's ratio, and we can see, oh my, it would have been real close. And out of all odds, konkawe will be surviving the night against one of the if not the titan of Usumania Squid Game. As we saw in the qualifier results, SuddenDeath getting that first seed. It was a very bold and surprising move from konkawe to go up against SuddenDeath. And out of all the odds, konkawe going to be the one out on top, slaying the Titan and safely punching their ticket into the third game.
Wow, congratulations to konkawe. Commiserations to SuddenDeath. It is not an easy task being put in the situation. Did a valiant effort, but unfortunately not going to be enough. But that will do it for our marquee matchup of the weekend. Very surprising for pretty much everybody watching, I think, once they see that match feed pop up. I think the next match was going to be at 15 UTC in about 30 minutes, but I believe it got rescheduled to 17 UTC. So we're going to be taking a little bit of a break as we get ourselves situated, take a deep breath, relax, and we'll be back in a couple of hours. So until then, we'll catch you guys later.
Yeah, so long, everybody.